Hello guys, my name's Autumn Miller, and I decided that I would start a YouTube channel based on just kind of some mental health awareness and recovery topics, maybe some tips, questions and answers. Maybe I can film like a day in my life, what I eat in a day, that kind of stuff. I just I decided to make this channel because I know that when I was, and I still am, struggling, and especially when you're in the recovery process of, for me specifically, eating disorders, and that's what my channel will be based upon, but that doesn't mean that I won't touch like depression, OCD, anxiety, all that stuff, but really like a lot of these topics that I'm going to be talking about were really helpful for me to hear in my recovery, because if I didn't have those topics to help check my facts and reassure me, I wouldn't have been motivated to get to where I am today. So, a little bit of a background on me. I am 15 and a half years old. I am a sophomore in high school. I have had depression for about 8 years, anxiety for about 10 years, and I was diagnosed with an eating disorder about 3 years ago, but I had been struggling with unhealthy binging, restricting, just bad body image and talks. Sorry, my hair is like really bad. I touched it a lot. So yeah, I just had those struggles, but even though I was undiagnosed, but I still have them. Yeah, so I have been in recovery. I was in quasi recovery from my eating disorder for about 3 months, and then I relapsed to my lowest point, and I have been in recovery since my birthday, which I was hospitalized in December, so that's about 6 months. So yeah, I have been inpatient so many times I can't even tell you. ER, you name it. But something that really helped me go to where I am today is this PHP I was in down in San Diego. It's called UCSD. It was amazing. I met so many amazing people that I still talk to today, and it was just great. So if you're in California, I recommend going there. And I will put below some of my social media. Something that I'd like to point out is I do care packages for anyone suffering with an addiction, mental, chronic illness, something that is life-threatening. It's called Smile Mail for Warriors, and this is just one of the things that comes in the care packages. It's a gold bracelet that says "Stay Strong," so it would be great. I also have a GoFundMe if you'd like to donate, but you don't have to, so thank you. Today I decided that I would start with the topic that is kind of here and there, like it's kind of iffy, like people don't really understand it that well, and that is orthorexia nervosa, sorry. And orthorexia nervosa is an eating disorder people often push it aside because it's not talked about as much, but it is a real thing, and just because it's not like one of the main eating disorders does not mean that it is as serious as them. And people often switch up orthorexia and healthy eating. So today I'm going to be talking about the differences between orthorexia and healthy eating, which people get very confused with. So first off, I'm undiagnosed with it, but I have talked to many therapists, and they would agree that with considering everything that's been going on with me, I have been struggling from orthorexia. And basically, people, like, often our society nowadays is obsessed with healthy eating and eating clean, and honestly, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to eat healthy, but some people can just take it to the extremes. So healthy eating is basically what I just said. You want to take care of yourself, all that stuff. You want to eat a bunch of like whole foods and that's all that stuff. Like, that's okay. But orthorexia is where you take it to an extreme to where you're scared of foods that are unhealthy and you will not eat those foods and completely avoid them, and it just causes you anxiety and you feel like you need to like make up for it. At least in my experience. Like, my family is just a healthy eating family, and they always have been. Like, my mom likes to cook. We don't really do McDonald's or anything. Not saying that that's unhealthy. Everything is healthy. And I like to say balance, not moderation, because when people say moderation, it can kind of be like, oh, if you restrict whatever, like, that food category is, then you can be healthy with it. But really, no. Everything is good in balance. So yeah, my family naturally, like, we just have always eaten healthy, but every once in a while, we'll have a pizza night, or we'll have pasta. Not saying that those things are unhealthy, but it's just not what you would consider clean eating. And there's nothing wrong with that, but what came up for my orthorexia is that I would make up lies or excuses for me not to eat those unhealthy things. So I took it to an extreme. And last Thanksgiving, I had to cook my own food because I was afraid of any sauces, like extra ingredients. There had to be things with 4 or less ingredients. So I was eating like so many low calorie things. I remember I made like a bowl that probably held like a gallon of, like, probably like 2 heads at least of just steamed broccoli and plain tofu. I'm not talking about like plain tofu sticks. I'm talking about when you buy it and it's like this big block. I cut it up into chunks, and I put no seasoning, nothing. Like, that was what I ate on Thanksgiving. And yes, I got looks, but I was so sick that I didn't even care. And the thing about anorexia and orthorexia, which I have flip-flopped or maybe even using at the same time, not using, that sounded wrong, but like I've struggled with at the same time. Anorexia is where you restrict the amount of food you have. And that could be volume, that could be calories, that could be so many things. Orthorexia for me is when I ate a normal amount, or even more than a normal amount of food, but it was all low calorie and clean. So I was there with like probably a plate this big, like bigger than me, of steamed broccoli, and I had a bowl of tofu. And I'm not gonna really try to go too deep into calories because that could trigger some people, but let's just say it was like nothing. Like, I'm talking like under 500 for all this food I was eating. I was getting looks like, people were like, how can she eat this much? Like, my dad, who is a black hole, couldn't have eaten that much food. So it was pretty insane. Versus when I had anorexia, and the previous Thanksgiving, I had a seasoned piece of tofurkey turkey, like fake turkey, and it had like maybe like things that were higher calorie, or it had sauces on it, but I just restricted the amount. So if you can see the difference, that's pretty much what happened. So back to the orthorexia. So that is kind of the main difference. People who like to eat healthy, although they might think bad about unhealthy foods, they are not like afraid of it. Like, if they eat a slice of pizza, they're not gonna like contemplate that in their brain for the next week and try to make up for it. Versus when you have orthorexia, it's like, oh my god, it's the end of the world. Like, it's just this fear that you have in your head and you can't control it. It's not fun. So that's definitely something. And let's just say, when I was struggling with orthorexia last Thanksgiving, I was not healthy. Although I was eating what looked like so much food, I had a heart rate of about 30 resting. My blood pressure was so low. Like, when you tapped on it, it would take forever to turn back to normal. When I stood up, my heart rate would decrease by 70 beats per minute, at least. Sorry, my computer's being very dumb. Yeah, it was just, I was very unhealthy. I was cold all the time. I'm not going to mention my weight, but I was significantly underweight. It wasn't, it didn't make me feel good. But the more I fed into the orthorexia and anorexia and just overall negative thought pattern, the more stronger it got, and it really did not lead me down a good path. But I am here now, and I am healthy, and I am happy. I eat all sorts of foods. I do like to eat clean just because that's how my body, like, reacts the best. Like, my body just naturally is healthier, and I'm not talking like, oh my god, like calories and like healthier. I mean like my body has more energy with whole foods. My body digests them better. I have very bad digestive problems, and whole foods just naturally tend to help that. So, but does that mean I'm afraid of a pasta night or a popcorn with candy night? No, I am happy now. Not to say that I do still struggle. I'm not putting that out there that I am cured, because I am really not. I still have to follow a meal plan. I still have supervision on some meals. You know, I'm not quite there, but I really hope that helping other people and maybe receiving the help back from you guys we can help each other, and that's really what recovery is about. You can't do it on your own. It's just you can't do it. So it would mean the world if you guys could get back to me or subscribe, like, you know, feel free to Snapchat message me. I just really want to be a part of this community. I know I don't have this crazy, like, cool lighting and camera. I'm literally doing this on my laptop that shuts down, but anything to just put myself out there, it would be more, it would make my year to meet you guys, and I don't know. I really hope that I can. So thank you for watching, and comment below some topics you might want me to bring up next, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.